Welcome back to Freedom Hours. Andy here again. Great to have you back with us today. So today's episode, I'm really excited to talk about what are the things most managers miss. You see, I've been working with companies now for over 20 years and gone through a number of different many companies and helped build and transform the cultures of them. And one thing I've found out is in all companies, there's always been things missing with the managers they had in place. You see, just because someone's a manager doesn't mean they can do the management job well. And I guess this comes from, the training people have had, but also from their own experiences. So in this video, we're going to talk a bit about, why a lot of managers aren't effective and why they're not working. And what are the key things that they can do to start to turn things around. You see, one of the most important things in management, or the only thing in management, is the people. Unless you can connect, motivate, develop, and get the people believing in you, you're not going to go anywhere. So in this video, we're going to talk about how you can actually connect with your staff members to become a great manager. You see, this is the key thing that most managers miss. They focus on themselves and not on the people around them. So anyway, we hope you enjoy this video. It's the first part of a management series. And what we're going to want to do is give you guys the tools to be able to manage and lead your teams effectively and get great outcomes for your businesses as well. So it's a bit different to what we've done in the past, but it's all about, helping you grow and helping you learn and challenging you even further. So make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let me know if you like this video and the future play that's going to come with it. Anyway, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and thanks for joining us here at Freedom in Hours. Okay, before we start talking about what is the thing that most managers miss, let's look a bit about how managers operate generally. You see, most managers actually get trained from their experience, which is a bit of a worry, really. You think about it. So someone goes into an organization, they may go at entry level, they may learn the role, grow, develop, move into supervisor positions, then move into management positions. But who have they actually learned from? They've actually learned from other managers. And you see, most managers, from my experience, to be honest, don't perform too well. And that's because, number one, they're learning from poor role models. So if you have a manager that teaches you how to manage through, yelling at you or micromanaging you, for example, that's going to be the management process that you potentially follow in the future. Not always, mind you, but a lot of cases. And the challenge is most managers I've worked with haven't had any formal qualifications. They haven't had any formal coaching courses. And even the university degrees that do things like Bachelor of Business Management, which I did previously, don't necessarily give you the skills that you need. So there's a bit of a knowledge gap there. And I believe that most managers are trying to do the best they can, but they're trying to do the best they can with the hardware they've got. Well, not really the hardware they've got, with the software they've got, with the program they've been taught. And at Freedom Hours, we're always talking about how you can develop yourself and to grow. And unless you're a manager in any kind of company or any kind of business, unless you're always challenging your ideas, challenging yourself to grow, then you're not really going to be able to move ahead. So before I go into what the key thing that most managers miss is really, as a manager or a leader, start working on yourself, start to grow. And doing this video is part of that growth, is part of that learning. So I really, really do appreciate it. And we're going to further videos as well about how you can also develop your skills in managing and growing and developing people. So the key thing most managers miss of organizations I've worked with is the people. Now, it sounds quite simple because a lot of people say, people, Andrew, we tell them what they want. Well, the reality is people work for you for their reasons, not for yours. So as a manager, you have someone working for you, they're choosing to work for you. Now, it's gotten a lot more difficult over the last couple of years with the employment market being so tight, and people really can choose who they want to work with. And the last company I worked with, where I literally turned it around, so we went from 60 to 120 employees, and they were all referrals, basically. There was no people answering to the job adverts we had. So it was all basically from referrals. They got all their friends to work there. And what was exciting about that is because people wanted to work there. And the first thing about what most managers miss is you get to know your people. You see, I knew the name of every person that worked in the organization. I knew their partners, what they did, what their hobbies were, what their strengths, their weaknesses were. I would hop on the phones, it was the call center I was managing, and I'd actually do the work with them. I'd share their experiences, share their ups, share their downs. And as part of that, I was able to not only influence them, I was able to talk to them about, what was happening and how that could be better. And I found most organizations, most managers don't even know their employees' names. Most organizations, most managers don't even know who their employees are, which to me is frightening. If you're going to manage someone, guys, you need to know what the person's job is. If you're managing someone, for example, I was doing a collections call center, you need to jump on the phone and do collections. Show these guys, number one, that you're equal to them. You can do their job. You understand what they're going through and you're there for them. So, and I guess part of that is knowing what they're going through. You see, when I build an organization, when I build a culture, I always tell the guys that work for me that the world can happen to you out there, but in the organization you work, in the business, in the company, under my leadership, you're protected. We look after you. I said, I can't control what happens out there, but in this business, you can be part of something special. And what that does is it combines people towards a culture. So not only are they committed to working for you, but you can then set the rules for the organization as well. So, say we're going to have a better place in here, but as part of that place, we share knowledge, we motivate each other, we encourage each other, we help each other out, we do all the right things, and then that becomes a culture and that cements that in the place. You see, a lot of people out there having trouble in life. You see, not everyone has money, they fight with their partners, but if you can create an organization or a culture where people go to work and they're actually more excited about being at work in a lot of cases than being at home, not only will they stay with you, not only will they not look anywhere else, but they'll be employees with you for life. And I guess that's a key thing that most managers miss. Now, I'm not saying if you know employees' names or if you know who the employee is, that's going to transform the culture and make things easier for you. But what I'm saying is that is the bedrock of how you need to build a business. You really need to know who people are. Now, I remember back when I first started managing a team, I think 20 years ago, I managed a small contact center, and I had a girl working with me there for about 12 months. Very, very new to the game, and she was leaving. And I said to her, I hope you, she said, yeah, I'm going out, I'm going to go see my partner. And I said, oh, that's great, going and seeing your boyfriend. Big mistake. She said, I have a girlfriend, Andrew. How could you not know that? How long have you worked for me for? And it was a big lesson for me because I realized that I didn't actually know anything about her. And I was asking her to commit to targets, commit to training, commit to customer satisfaction, commit to all these things. And I didn't even know her name. So guys, I learned that lesson very, very early on. And no matter what level of management you are, whether you're a consultant like me, whether you're a team leader, whether you're actually a member of a team as well, and being a part staff member, get to know the people around you, get to know their strengths, get to know their weaknesses, become a part of their life. But more importantly, as I said, most people go through life and they're not happy or they're not fulfilled. If you make people fulfilled, give them something to work towards, give them something more. And that's not just necessarily money, that's not necessarily targets. That could be a feeling of satisfaction in their job. That could be a feeling of someone in senior management taking some time in them and caring about them. These little things are what can transform the organization. In future videos, I'm going to talk a lot more about the steps that you can take to transform the culture in any organization. Also reach out to me if you want help in actually transforming organization cultures too. I do it as well, but I'm very, very passionate about this, guys. It's the things most managers miss. It's the easiest thing, but it's also the hardest thing at the same time. It's the easiest thing because it's something that's easy to do, but it's also hardest because no one's been taught how to do it. So make sure you let me know if you've actually tried this out at all. Make sure if you've used this in your organization as well. Again, if you're watching this video, you're a manager, you manage a large team, I challenge you to know your employees' names. And even if you're in a bigger business, where you've got a couple thousand employees, I still challenge you to know all your employees' names. It's so, so important. It makes a massive difference. Ask how their birthday is. Congratulate them on a good call. Congratulate them on a good customer service call. Congratulate them doing well. If they're an IT team, for example, congratulate them on a successful project they've done. Put their name up there. It's so easy to build a great team. And one of the probably most powerful books I read, if you want to read it, is Legacy, the book regarding the New Zealand Black Soil team. I use a lot of my philosophy about that, but I won't go into it here. I'll go into the future about how you can create a culture where people don't just want to work there, but they rave about it. And, I'm really excited about so much more to come. Anyway, let me know what you think about the video today. And just remember, the things that most managers miss are the most simple things. The starting point is people. You're a manager because you've got a person. So know your people. Take an interest in them. Care, be passionate, and it'll grow. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this new approach to Freedom in Hours. I know it's moving more into the kind of the management versus the personal development side, which I still want to focus on. But I wanted to do a bit of a side thing into actually how to get performance out of businesses. Because a lot of my viewers out there are actually business owners or managers or leaders themselves. Anyway, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel. Thanks for joining us here again at Freedom in Hours.